This is the all-new Mercedes GLC. The GLC has been Mercedes' bestseller in the recent years, the most important model for the whole brand actually, very interesting. And here it is in the all-new generation with Thomas and Autogefühl for you. Diamond white vehicle in AMG line. The AMG line has this chrome star pattern, tiny stars, really beautiful structure definitely. And in the lower part you can see different graphics, sportier graphic for the AMG line. And here, this central part, we also have the night package, which paints it here in high gloss black. And we can directly see the difference with a secondary vehicle for today. This is here graphite gray, and the Avangarde line. The Avangarde is now the base trim and has then the front grille with these vertical fins right here. This one here also does not have the night package, and therefore the lower part is here in chrome. So you can either go for the sinister look or then for the brighter look, depending if night package or not. And also you can see the side graphics are a little bit different, not so sporty, accentuated. So this is also then the thing, AMG line or not, depending on which style you do prefer. On the side here with the mirrors, it's one interesting thing already here. You can see they're placed relatively low and not right here, you know, in this corner here at the below the A pillar, but here at the side, at the doors. So usually only the coupes at Mercedes have that, and this is then better for aerodynamics. This is also a scheme in general for this vehicle. They improved aerodynamics and wanted to reduce wind resistance and also less wind noises from everything that is attached to the vehicle. Here also in the lower part there is this footstep. This is an option. It looks of course quite cool. Some don't like it, but the interesting thing is it's not bad for aerodynamics. This here is actually good for aerodynamics. Just like with the EQS SUV, the new electric SUV, the lower part channels the air to the rear and is actually improving aerodynamics. 4.72 m or 186 inches is the length in this generation now, so just like 6 centimeters or 2 inches longer, so slight increase then. Wheels from 18 to 20 inch, and these are indeed the biggest 20 inch wheels. AMG line would already feature 19 inch wheels. And what you can also see here, now available, the painted wheel arches. They do not automatically come with AMG line. This is also an option you pick, and they are also combined with mixed tires. Then when the rear tires are a little bit wider. Also quite interesting, isn't it? Other than that, the side profile is not too different from the outgoing version. You can see here that the dropping line, the famous design line that divides light and shadow, is not here. But this here actually appears in the second door and then continues up to the rear. Very interesting. On the technology side, what's also very interesting is upgraded base suspension. That means there's a new front and a new rear axle that increases comfort. And when you go for the optional air suspension, that would of course be the most comfortable option then, however also more cost intensive. And then a look at the graphite grey vehicle, because here we have the non-painted wheel arches. So these are the standard wheel arches then with this typical off-road crossover look. We also have a different wheel design. I really like this, you know, like this multi-spider design. They always remind me of some BBS wheels from the late 90s or something. Yeah, that's where I grew up with as a car enthusiast. Do you remember these times? Tell me in the comments. And here we also have the chrome frames around the windows. So I'm always team chrome. I think it just looks a little more classy, but some say it's too old school and they rather want then the dark frames around the windows and so on. So yeah, once again, are you team chrome or team high gloss black? Perspective here from the rear, new styling for the tail lamps, more horizontally drawn, but in the middle then here blacked out. Talking about black, this one here once again with the night package, and that means that in the lower part we have once again the black contrast right here. And when we take a look at the comparing other vehicle without the night package, more chrome, but in both cases here, AFAP alert, Autogefühl fake exhaust police, clear case for fake exhaust, and of course we always take a look out for that for you. By the way, technology feature wise, very interesting. Now the GLC comes with rear axle steering, optionally, 4.5 degrees, the rear wheels can turn in the opposite direction. The threshold for that is about 60 kilometers an hour or 40 miles an hour. Above that, it turns in the same direction for more stability. But in the lower speeds, the turning circle is reduced by almost a meter, so this will make a massive difference in handling. Car key, I like it. No high gloss black, and also Real door handles, no flush door handles. Yeah, that's what we want to see, something that can be handled indeed. Or am I too old school for that? Tell me in the comments. Now door closing sound. Yeah, not bad, but also not extremely good. Something in between, I would say. Ooh, there's the new interior. Let's begin at the inside of the doors first. Here, this is an article leatherette, so this is all animal free. Here as well, very soft, high quality, so great high grade leatherette. Of course, the red is a little bit special. It looks interesting to the white vehicle. It wouldn't be my case, but of course you can get different colors here, no problem. Then it begins with hashtag capacitive BS buttons here already inside of the doors. You see one button fits it all, but what's cool is that these seats here are also available with ventilation. That's a cool thing. So a mix, like this combination of leatherette and ventilation. Here also interesting, this one of the speaker of the 15 speaker Burmester sound system. Of course, for the ultimate music experience, that would be something I would go for. Yeah, but of course not that cheap either. Then you can see here, this is the AMG line steering wheel. Perforation at the sides, not available without animal skin though. And you have these horizontal fins. That definitely looks better. Also hashtag capacitive BS buttons at the steering wheel, sadly, but I think I prefer this style. Later on I will show you the base steering wheel as well. Seats then here. This is then the high-grade article leatherette once again with perforation. So really good quality, really soft, and also looks cool with perforation. And of course, it makes sense because of the seat ventilation. Once again, red is possible, but you don't have to go for it. Several colors are available. In Germany, by the way, you would start with fabric on the inside and article on the outside that has by itself the more breathable function. This one here, this setup, not in red, would be standard for the US and also for the UK. And you can also get in the AMG line usually Dynamica microfibers, now called microcut because I changed suppliers. So on the inside would be microfiber, outer leatherette, but so far mostly they are only sold in Germany and some other markets. When we get inside, this door, like this sill, is like really large, definitely, and that reminds us still of the old generation. And I more and more get the impression that this car was not developed, let's say, from scratch. I think it also wouldn't make sense at this point. It's more like an evolution of the vehicle. Yes, it's a new generation, but I feel more evolution actually. Setup here from the screens is really different. Soon look at that. But from the seating position, how the car feels, it's more or less to me, really like this transition from the past generation. So far, interesting seating position. Headroom 1.89 m or 6'2". I'm 6'2" now. Yeah, there's this growing story behind it because my passport obviously was always wrong. And here, still have some headroom left. As for the seating position, I mean, this typical grown-up SUV position. So yeah, can't complain about that. Steering wheel up and down, in and out, and I really like the size of it. That promises sporty driving fun. The interior overview, all new, reminds us of S-Class and C-Class here with the vertical layout. 11.9 inch, this screen. Yes, here high gloss black, but there will be an alternative to that to come up very soon. What is cool with this trim here is, of course, different stylings available. Here, this matte wood styling, really cool. This, really good premium atmosphere. Also, I do like the very prominent air vent styling here, and they also have very loud and clear clicking sounds. That gives some nice haptical feedback indeed. Left side, 12.3 inch digital instruments here, also with an off-road view. Soon more deals to these screens. But before that, let's just finish up the lower middle console here, because you can slide this one open. Cup holders then, also with adaptive function. And then 2 USB-C chargers with a nice blue illumination. In the front there's also inductive charging pad. When we close this one here again, then we have the typical Mercedes split armrest here. Nice leatherette cover, there we go, with more space and 2 more USB-C chargers. Digital instruments, I love this off-road view right here, with this terrain visualization that looks really amazing. You can pick different stylings here. Also, for example, if you want to have the map full, if you want to have, that's the thing with the capacitive buttons. There we go. So sometimes you do want to control something and then you miss something, or you move up or down. Once again, and I'm I know how to control cars, but this happens then with capacitive buttons. So, and the same thing, by the way, you can also, when you swipe then up intentionally here, you can control, once again, there we go. You can also change the head-up display. Head-up display, minimum, or also sport gauges, or standard, and the fanciest one, once again, the off-road head-up display with most information. Now deals to the infotainment system. Here, by the way, you can see that we have the climate unit always here in this position, but it is on the screen. I do prefer the manual knobs. However, since it always stays in this position, it is more or less okay to handle here also with this 2-zone AC. And you can also use the voice input, either say then the Hey Mercedes or press it on the steering wheel. Also with the map, quite responsive. So the car internal GPS is also well usable actually. But whoa! It gets super hot, this screen, when it's hot outside. Whoa, it's like almost burning my fingers actually. So I have to do short hits. Let's just test the Burmester sound system. And wow, awesome 3D sound profile. Gosh, that is amazing. So one of the best sound systems here in the car. I would always go for that one. Yeah, even if it's a lot of money, that's cool. This is the main menu, by the way. So to me, this is a more simple view actually. So they've simplified the whole thing. Also better than in the most electric vehicles now by Mercedes with this optional hyperscreen. And here, this off-road view. This is also very interesting. And in this off-road view, not only information but also a special off-road camera. And this is actually quite a cool thing. Well, you have always, when a 360-degree view camera, you always get this. And you see here, this is the transparent bonnet feature. And the thing is, when you roll a little bit forward, then you see here, it builds up the view underneath the vehicle, so you can see like where there's a stone or something. This is live view. This is past view, like 1.5 seconds delay. So this is not the live, but still you see where the stone is, and maybe you can then like turn the wheels around the stone, and that you don't hit it with the wheels from the inside or something. So a very interesting feature. And one more test here, I put a small yellow case of these emergency rests where they are rolled in front. Now let's see how the transparent bonnet, it removes the color. Interesting. But now you see it's directly between the axle and the front axle, and they know exactly where the obstacle is actually. The door pocket's very large, by the way, and inside you can see, open the fuel cap, and also here then the hatch. And a short glimpse at another trim level, Avantgarde trim level, and also other colors. This vehicle here equipped with brown seats. In this case, this is the animal skin. There you can also see the different pattern, but the brown would also be available for the Artico. So the Artico animal-free seats also available in different colors, of course. Here we also have different decor elements. Here this more, let's say, aluminum whatever style. I mean, aluminum, can't really describe how would you describe it actually, but at least no high gloss black. That's to me the main thing here. You have different options not to go for high gloss black. And if you don't have the AMG, here the Avantgarde line, also different steering wheel, looks a little bit more simple but also with nice styling. But once again, hashtag capacitive BS buttons on the steering wheel. They are easy to understand, but once again, not that good to control, especially while driving. Inside of the doors, also with a soft Artico cover, so really high build quality here, also in the rear. And what about the space here actually? So this is the seat as I would be driving. So yes, it works for four tall adults, not a major difference to the previous generation. Not too much space, but remember this is then set to my position. By the way, the head restraints here, I can easily do it from the rear. Wait a minute, might that be a game for your kids? You shouldn't make your kids watch that video, because when I'm showing you right now here, you can adjust the head restraint like front and back. And if your kids find out about that, you might have some argument in the car about that. But the function itself is really interesting, to change the distance then here to your head. But here, talking about heads in the rear, also some headroom left, even for tall adults. And here at the moment we have the shade for the panoramic view. This is a proper panoramic roof here, by the way, so you can first remove that shade, and after that you can open the whole thing, so it's not just a fixed one. And especially everyone in the rear does profit from that. So now we have a little bit more light, and let's open the thing also with sliders there in the front. This is once again, I don't like this slider trend, don't you? Or am I really too old school for wanting physical buttons? Some say that, and some agree with me. So here we now have everything opened up, some air. By the way, here, I mean, it's bright outside, but maybe you can slightly see that ambient lighting can be changed in colors, and it's here even in the rear around this element. So yeah, Mercedes really knows their stuff, and it comes for ambient lighting. Let's take a look at the trunk or the boot. Now it's 600 liters plus 50 liters, and the length is at 95 centimeters or around 37 inches. The width even a little bit more than a meter or 40 inches, so that's actually a very good result. And the overall height here, total height, 74 centimeters or 29 inches. This here being the combustion engine trunk. Here there's like a protective cover, you don't have to go for it. Then underneath even more space, you can even store the cover here, the top cover. This is a clever idea, and here, for example, for a shopping bag or something. This is actually quite cool, so very well usable, this trunk here. And let's, it's a little hidden, this cover now. Come, let's take it out for a second, and you can also take a look at that. Now let's fold the seats here with this release, and also on the other side. Here we go. Let's push it forward like this. So here we go. And yeah, I mean, you don't really need a bigger SUV for that, don't you? And to the front seats, yeah, this gets then close like 185 in meters or 73 inches. And taking a look at the trunk of the plug-in hybrid, you do lose some height. You have this step here in the trunk. You can also very well see that here on this side, this then is the height you do lose with a plug-in hybrid in the trunk or in the boot. Would you be willing to take that into account? I don't know. And then you can see, I can also lift this part, but at least, they thought about a space for the charging cable here. As for engines, 4-cylinder is the focus. So 4-cylinder petrol plug-in hybrid or diesel. Only later there will be a 6-cylinder diesel actually. Interesting. Here, this is by the way the plug-in hybrid drivetrain, but you cannot really see it in the front. That's also a quite interesting fact. And which engine would I actually go for? I think at this moment then the best is the GLC 300 petrol engine, 4-cylinder then with 258 horsepower. Sadly no 6-cylinder petrol then anymore. But I mean, these 4-cylinders are a little bit cheaper, but it's the same scheme than we see with the C-Class, for example. Of course, they share then the powertrains. At least it still remains this rear-wheel driven or rear-wheel biased platform, because most will come with all-wheel drive, the 4MATIC, but the US market, for example, will still get the GLC 300 as rear-wheel drive only. This one will be the most fun version actually, and in Germany then the GLC 300 only as 4MATIC. Now tune in to the BMW X3 and the Audi Q5 reviews.